This is how you stop living at the mercy of banks, lenders, and emergencies. Let me say something that's probably going to upset some people, but it's the truth. If you think that infinite banking is simply just buying life insurance, you're missing the entire point. You see, starting a properly structured whole life policy for infinite banking is no different than starting a business. And the reason that some people don't get the results that they want is because their expectations were off from the jump. They treat their policy like a product instead of a business that they own. Now, just for some quick clarity, so I don't oversell it because it's pretty damn great by default, understand that whole life has contractual guarantees inside the policy. Plus, any mutual company worth its weight is also going to pay policyholders dividends. Now remember, dividends are not guaranteed. And of course, like any system, this only works if you keep it funded and you don't misuse it. This asset literally performs 100% of the time. The only variable is you. If you aren't on the same financial page as you, well, this probably isn't going to work for you. But if you want something that builds a balance sheet, gives you liquidity, and gives you financing control, this is one of the cleanest systems most normal everyday families can actually own. Here's the part that most people don't often talk about. The beginning can definitely feel tight for some people. We call that the capital crunch phase. And that's the exact reason I compare it to a business. Because when you start a business, you don't just put money in on Monday and pull out profits on Tuesday. You capitalize it first. Same exact thing here. Most people are used to putting money into places that they don't control. Talking retirement accounts, banks, lenders, credit cards. In all of these scenarios, someone else is setting the rules. Infinite banking is different. You're building your system, one that you own and control. But you've got to come into this with some realistic expectations and be willing to accept the quote unquote startup phase. Luckily for you, the cost of starting your business in the beginning is coming with a healthy, guaranteed death benefit, just in case you were to graduate early.
Die.
In that case, you can have the peace of mind knowing that you won't be leaving your family high and dry with a business that they have no idea how to manage. Instead, you'll be leaving them with a pile of tax-free cash that avoids probate. So, are you really behind, or are you just repositioning some of your assets for the long term? Let's use a real example here just so you understand how this works. Let's say that you start a policy with $10,000 a year. Well, in the first year, you may only have access to, say, $6,000. Some people see that and think, I lost $4,000. No, you didn't lose it. That $4,000 is the startup cost of building the foundation of your system. It's like opening up a coffee shop. You spend money on build out, on equipment, on permits, on inventory, on branding. And in the beginning, it feels like, man, all of my money is just going in one direction, out. But when it comes to your properly structured whole life policy, you're not losing any money. You're building an infrastructure that's guaranteed to pay you for the rest of your life. You're literally laying the foundation for a money printing business. I'll be honest though, there are some times in the beginning that new folks start to listen to some of that outside noise. Let's call them heavily undereducated friends or family members, and they decide to give up their policy right before their system really starts to gain momentum. That's the last thing that you want to do. Here's the cleanest way that I can explain it. Your policy behaves like a business in 4 different ways. Number 1, capitalization. Premiums aren't payments. Premiums are capital contributions. You're building an asset that you own. You're not renting one. And the moment that you understand that, the entire conversation changes. Number 2, it has rules, just like a franchise. A business has an operating agreement. A franchise has a playbook. Your policy has rules too. Don't just blow up everything. Don't mech your policy. Keep it funded, manage loans correctly, and keep it in force. People want the benefits of ownership without the discipline of ownership. You can't do that in business. And you damn sure can't do that here. Number 3, it has a balance sheet. This is where wealthy people live. Cash value is an asset. If you take a policy loan, that's a liability. The difference is your equity. That's a real balance sheet. And when you borrow, you're not cashing out your savings. You're doing what real business owners do. You're leveraging that asset. And number 4, liquidity is working capital. Businesses don't die because the idea was bad. They die because they run out of cash. Families are the same way. Cash value access is working capital for your life. I'm talking car repairs, medical stuff, opportunities, a slow month at work. Maybe you move, you have a layoff, an investment, whatever it is. It's the difference between life happened, so I'm back in debt, versus life happened, and now I stay in control. In business, retained earnings matter. That's what strengthens the company. Cash value is basically retained earnings building inside your family bank. Even when you're not doing anything flashy, the system is quietly getting stronger year after year based on the guarantees in the contract and the dividends being dispersed by your specific company. By the way, this is important, which is why I've mentioned it 1,000 times in past videos. This is not about beating the market. This is about building a private financing system that you control. Believe me, if you're a big fan of the market and you feel confident in what you believe it can do for you, awesome, get after it. We're not here to tell you that the market is bad. Believe me, you literally have to invest in some way to build real wealth, because you and I both know that you're not going to get rich off of savings. Luckily, properly structured whole life is the and asset. You can do everything I'm telling you, and you can take some of your cash value and you can invest it wherever you choose. You don't have to pick between one or the other. Now, here's where people either look like a business or they look like a consumer. If you're going to take policy loans, you have to start to think like a banker. A real banker asks themselves a few questions. What is this loan for? What's the repayment plan? What's the timeline? What's the benefit? What happens if this plan goes sideways? Because if you treat policy loans like free money, you'll end up blaming the policy for your own shitty behavior. I'll give you the most relatable version of this. Most people borrow money and their life gets more expensive. A banker borrows money and their life gets more stable and profitable. That's the difference. Also, don't overloan your system. Just because you got access to capital doesn't mean that you should drain your liquidity. Businesses stay alive because they protect their cash. Now, I want to take a quick second and discuss 3 ways people mess this up. Number 1, they judge it way too early, like they're judging a business that they've only been in for 6 months. Bro, you just started. We're playing the long game here. Number 2, they borrow with no plan. It's like they're taking a business loan with no real business plan and then just crossing their fingers and hoping it works out. It's not going to work out. Number 3, they never recapitalize. Sure, they might be taking and repaying loans, and that's great. But the best way to really supercharge your system is to pay yourself back with interest. The way that you would do that is to repay your loan and then put additional money into the paid up additions portion of your policy to truly maximize its growth. Either way, at the end of the day, this is an incredible system. But believe me, you don't build systems like this by just dipping a toe in. This is exactly why it's a business and not just some one-time purchase. Because it scales. As cash flow grows, you can increase your contributions, you can add policies, you can ladder policies for different goals, you can build a bigger pool of working capital, and you can make your whole financial life far less fragile. That's what business owners do. They expand capacity as revenue expands. But here's the part that most businesses don't come with. Risk management is automatically built into your system from day one. Like I mentioned before, if you die unexpectedly, the system doesn't collapse. The death benefit simply transfers the value to your family tax-free. We call that proper legacy planning. So yes, in the beginning, it feels like a startup, because it is. But you're building an asset that you control with contractual guarantees, liquidity that you can use, and a system that you can finance your entire life from. So if you want help structuring this correctly, because structure does matter, then go ahead and click the link in the description below, or visit my website, legacylifeandretirement.com, and book yourself a call. We'll look at your cash flow, we'll look at your goals, and we'll build a policy design that fits your system. At the end of the day, I'm just a normal guy, like you, who wanted to figure out how to provide my family with the best life possible. This is step 1 of that plan. If you're in that same boat, reach out and let's connect. As always, the information is free, but the knowledge is priceless. Peace, y'all.